Welcome back to Cryptos R Us. I'm George, or all George. So today, streaming a little earlier, but of course there's still a lot to talk about with Bitcoin and how it's set to retest its previous all-time high. Let's talk about that, and also let's talk about Do Kwon. Yes, he has been arrested, but now we have leaked footage of him being hauled away in cuffs, along with someone else. I don't know who that is. Maybe an impersonator. So let's talk about all these things and more. Welcome, guys. Let's change that. Right now, Bitcoin is at 27.5, holding steady. We retested this 28.8 a couple times. Right now, we're a little bit lower, but we are holding steady. But we know greater things are coming. Right now, still a lot of fear over banks worldwide. In the U.S. alone, okay, 100 billion in deposits pulled from banks already. 100 billion. Now, the officials at the Financial Stability Oversight Council says, this is nothing. The system remains sound and resilient. Even though 100 billion has been pulled in just weeks, what about another 100 billion? And another 100 billion, and another 100 billion. I don't know if they're delusional at this point or just pretending like nothing is happening. But yeah, this is definitely a start of a major bank run on all banks. Credit default swaps, which is an insurance on whether or not a bank is going to go under. In this case, Charles Schwab is exploding. So there's still a lot of fear over Charles Schwab right now. I mean, there's just a lot going on. Deutsche Bank, even though people are saying, or analysts are saying, or maybe they're paid to say, well, Deutsche Bank is fine, even though their stock has been collapsing over the last month, right? They're fine. Although there's some question marks whether or not they're really fine because they have ties with Credit Suisse, which also is not very fine, right? So there's just so much fear out there. This is not the time to be trusting the banks. This is definitely not a time to be trusting the banks, which is why, right, Bitcoin is set to hit its previous all-time high. The good thing is even banks themselves realize, maybe we need to offer something better. So there's this new securities processing giant. I can't even say their name. Deutsche Wells Paper Service Bank AG. I can't pronounce that, but they're offering Bitcoin to banking customers in 1,200 banks. I bet that service is doing pretty well right now, right? Because if you go pull your money out of banks, where are you going to park it? You can't just throw it under your mattress. I mean, you could, but that's probably not safe. And if you have an enormous amount, really not safe. So where do you go park your money, right? Bitcoin. That is why everyone is saying right now is the time to be in Bitcoin. A $12 billion asset manager says investors are flocking to Bitcoin and crypto amid global banking fallout. That is exactly what's happening right now. You could see it. But what's interesting is this person says that the banks being rescued by the central banks and by the Fed, you could think of it as quantitative easing, because this causes them to print more money and distribute all that money outwards, right? So if you think about it that way, it's true, because Powell has been doing quantitative tightening for well over a year now. Many people feel like he made a giant mistake with his last rate hike. I'm seeing a lot of people really thinking that 0.25 basis point that he announced and raised last week, that was actually a giant mistake. That's going to put a lot more pressure on the banks. But you think about now that the Fed and everyone else, like the Swiss National Bank, all these central banks printing out all this money and giving it out, it's sort of quantitative easing. True, right? Quantitative easing, you throw a lot of money out there, hope the problem goes away, but ultimately it adds to more inflation, which is what they're trying to fight right now, right? So it's counterintuitive. But that's why so many people are flocking to Bitcoin, why Tether's CTO says that Bitcoin is set to retest all-time high, no problem, easily. So think about that, easily. And if you think about it, it's only 1.5x away from where we are right now, right? Or is it 1.5x? Yeah, 151% increase. Yeah, so a little bit more than that, but if you think about it, we're right around 28,000. Our previous high is 70,000. It doesn't take that much to basically get from where we are to 69,000. And the CTO of Tether definitely thinks that's possible. Now, he also did say something interesting about the ex-CTO of Coinbase thinking that Bitcoin can reach $1 million in 90 days, which he also does not believe will happen. But he goes beyond that and says, I really hope that doesn't happen, because if it does, that means the world's entire economy and financial system would have crashed, and that would be much worse. That's true. If Bitcoin reaches $1 million in 90 days, that means the Fed has collapsed, and basically central banks around the world have all collapsed, and banks, every single one, has major bank runs, and I don't know if that'd be a good world to live in. But will Bitcoin retest its all-time high? It's just a matter of when, not if. Is it going to come this year? I think it's too early. Will it come next year? Very possible. And what's going to happen in 2025? Who knows? The sky is the limit. Sky is the limit. And right now, Bitcoin's fundamentals continue to grow. Look at the hash rate right now. The hash rate and difficulty of Bitcoin's network is at an all-time high. All-time high. And the only reason, you might be wondering what happened in July of 2021. Why did the hash rate go down? The only reason that happened is because China at that point in time decided to kick out all the Bitcoin miners. That's the only reason. And that actually was a good thing. During the time, I said it's a really good thing. It helps Bitcoin become more decentralized. And look at it. Yes, we had a big fall with the hash rate, and then boom, right back up, and now we're at all-time high, right? So the Bitcoin network has never been stronger, more secure, or even more decentralized than ever before. And I've said this before, Bitcoin is the only crypto where the price follows its hash rate. It's the only one. There's no other crypto that it works like that. Every other crypto is the hash rate follows the price, but not Bitcoin. Continues to grow stronger, stronger. And the Lightning Network also is growing stronger and stronger. So that is also fantastic. Even though Lightning Network is still small, but it is definitely growing by leaps and bounds every single year. Awesome stuff. And as for the cycle, right? Yeah, we're at that point where we're exactly at that point where Bitcoin starts flipping above. If you look at all previous cycles, about 72% in the current cycle, that's when Bitcoin flips above and starts really moving. And also, whenever Bitcoin flips above its realized price, it also starts moving. And the two, generally speaking, are around the same period. So we are right there. And this is going back all the way to 2012. So this is going back 12 years. And this kind of event does not happen very often. So you're living through one of those moments. If you lived through 2022, nothing in 2023 should really shock you or fear you at this point. Now it's about recovering, coming up from bottom and heading towards that previous high of 69,000 and breaking through it. Good stuff. And, of course, what about Do Kwon? We know Do Kwon was arrested in Montenegro. Now he's leaving in court in handcuffs. So in case you guys didn't watch it, you know, I have a question mark about this. There's not any sound, but there's this one fellow that kind of looks like Do Kwon too. So I think there's an impersonator, or they arrested two people and they don't know which one is the real Do Kwon. I'm guessing because at first I thought it was the first guy, and then the second guy came out and he looks more like Do Kwon. Yeah, he definitely looks more like Do Kwon. But the first guy also looked like him. So I think they just arrested both because they don't know who's who, right? But yeah, that should be the end of the Do Kwon saga. I don't anticipate he's going to somehow break out of transport, break out of prison. But what's interesting is I was looking at his Twitter. He hasn't said much since 2022, but he does still think the reason why Terra collapsed, why UST collapsed, was because this guy right here, Sam Bankman-Fried, borrowed $1 billion worth of UST, okay, from Genesis, and he just absolutely dumped it on Curve, which started the whole process of the DPEG, and then everything went down. That is still what he thinks, and it may come to light because Genesis right now, they have to open up their books. They're in bankruptcy proceedings, so you know, soon we may get the truth on who's behind the dump. But anyways, if it's SBF, we don't have to worry about that since he's going to be behind bars soon. You know, SBF still sitting in his parents' basement right now, waiting for trial, and we're not going to see that trial until October. So right now he's just kind of like chilling. Anyways, moving on. A couple of meme coin news. Dogecoin has just updated. There's a new update called Lib Dogecoin. And what does this do exactly? Well, it improves synchronization speed, an updated user interface, and supports generation of seed phrases in multiple languages and has enhanced key address derivation. Okay, a lot of technical stuff. But overall, it's an upgrade. It's an upgrade. So we'll take that. So for those of you guys that hold on Dogecoin, Doge has been very silent. People are waiting for Elon to do something with Doge. Very silent. Nothing. So I guess we will see. But as for the other meme coin, Shibarium, well, they finally announced. A lot of people wanted to know what the burning with Shibarium is going to be, what that ratio is. Well, they have just announced that 70% of the fees collected on Shibarium will be burned. Okay, so there you go. There you go. That is the ratio, 70%. Okay, so as more people come to Shibarium, the better it is for the burning. And they say that this Shibarium is going to be, what, 10,000 times cheaper than Ethereum right now? Something like that. We'll see. We will see how good this layer 2 is compared to the other layer 2s that exist. But if this becomes big, it's going to be absolutely big for sheep holders. And then the last two things. Amazon accidentally leaked out an email saying that they are about to allow resellers sell NFTs. So look at this one. Dear Anne, good news. Your order has been completed and your digital token is now in your gallery. Keep in mind you won't be able to resell it until it's unlocked. If your item is unlocked within 72 hours, please contact customer support. You also need to register as a reseller before listing an NFT for sale. Interesting. So soon they will allow you to sell NFTs as a reseller, and also you are able to display your NFTs in your gallery, and you have to unlock it. So maybe you can, I don't know, gift it to people. I don't know. This email, if it's true, is saying a whole lot of what's to come for Amazon. So it sounds like they want to go all in on NFTs soon. Interesting. And then lastly, unfortunately, there's this one guy who buys a CryptoPunk for $135,000 and then accidentally burned it. He was trying to wrap his Ether, and I don't know how, but he didn't know what he was doing, and he just sent it to a burn address. So this guy spent a whole lot of money to buy CryptoPunk only to destroy it forever. So no good. So just be careful. If you're spending big amounts of money on something that you don't quite understand, make sure you test it out ahead of time before something like this happens. All right. Let's do some Q&A. Rocky, I have no idea what L1 Amazon is using. It could be Avalanche because they have a big partnership with Avalanche. It could be Avalanche, but if it's not Avalanche, I'm willing to bet it's probably Polygon. Every brand is using Polygon. Scrolling up, Bullish Stevie. Yes, it's Saturday. I'm streaming a little bit early today. You guys know why. I'm about to fly out to LA to film the show, the next Crypto Gem. I've been talking about it for quite some time. I think it's going to be an interesting experience. I'm going to see how it is. I may be able to do some behind the scenes stuff while I'm there. I don't know. But it's going to be good. It's going to be good overall. Let's see. F the banks, let them collapse. Let's see. Scrolling. What do you think? The Farton Spartan asks, what do you think about BTC cloud mining? I tried out those apps. You know, I don't trust them really because ultimately they're holding on your Bitcoin. And plus, I just don't see it being profitable. You know, your payback time is so long. I would just forget that notion. Morning, do you think we will hit 30K next week? I think there's a good chance we could hit it this week. I mean, I don't know if you guys noticed, but yesterday there was a giant, where did it go? There was a giant pump recently with Bitcoin. Maybe it was just on one exchange, but there was a giant spike to 29,000 something before coming down. I don't know what happened to it, but I was on my other computer and I saw it. I'm like, whoa, right? There's a lot of people that's buying Bitcoin right now. And It doesn't take a whole lot to move it at this point. So we could definitely see some excitement later today or tomorrow. We could certainly see a big jump like this. We saw it here back to 28.8. We were unable to break it, but sooner or later the bears are going to lose this, and then we're going to break through, and we'll be at 30,000 in no time. So next week or this week, it's going to come. Bid Moon, thank you. Appreciate it. Have you seen the Beaner cycle chart from 1870? No, I have not. I have not. Do you think Amazon will have a self-custody wallet? I don't know. Maybe if they partner up with like Avalanche, they could definitely have something in store where you could store it within an Avalanche wallet. But if it's based on Polygon, then you could basically store it in any wallet. I don't know. Or they may just have a closed system where it's just their own wallet. Probably, I would say they're going to start out with just their own wallet, and then they will expand outwards. Oh, is that Bitstamp? Yeah, I saw that scam with too, but it was interesting. Sean Walker, are the crypto gems from your show in the first 100 on CMC? No, they're not on the first page, for sure. They used to be. I know some of the project that applied, some of them are quite large, or they were quite large, but not anymore, right? I don't know who's making it, right? But I know that I saw some of the applicants, and they're well-known projects that were quite large back in the day. Do you think 280 Avalanche is achievable next bull run? 280? That's very specific. That's more than 10x. That's almost 20x. I don't know. It could. It could. I would say for Avalanche, safer bet is 10x, maybe 160. I don't know about 280. It could certainly happen, but, you know, it's a little high. Drew Durant. Exactly. Hey, look at this, number 3. Barbara says, number 1 piece of investing advice, don't diversify. Money is meant to be spent. I agree with this. One piece of advice people hear all the time, and I just don't believe it, is diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I put all my money in real estate basket, my brokerage firm, and everything in there went to buying properties. I spent every dollar I made and threw it back into the business. And she says she's built a lot of wealth. I mean, that is true. I mean, I think people say that because they want to be safe. Okay, they don't want to give bad advice, and sometimes you just don't know. You just don't know if what you're investing in is the right thing. That's why people say, well, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Like, for example, if you are, I don't know, if you're a gold investor, okay, you could put literally every dollar into gold, and that has been, I guess, one of the top investment options that have existed for, I guess, thousands of years, right? You could think about it that way. But over the last 12 years, you would be regretting that decision because your investment in gold has gone nowhere, right? So that's what people mean, I think, by don't put all your eggs in one basket. However, if you do bet on the right horse, had you put every single penny into Bitcoin, the last 12 years would have made you a billionaire, right? So when it comes to picking the right investment, I think there are certain ones that you really can't lose on. I do think real estate is one of them, although it's slower moving. But in the right market, in the right conditions, real estate could definitely make you a boatload of money. Crypto is definitely the right place to be in. Now, betting on the right horse in crypto is hard because a lot of people choose all the unknown meme coins or unknown projects that they think could do 1,000x, right? There's thousands of them to choose from, so you're kind of just making a gamble. And sometimes it pays off, like SHIB, and sometimes it doesn't pay off. So you got to be careful when it comes to crypto. But if you're betting just, say, on Bitcoin alone, I think that's a sure bet, right? So I think this is true. I think, the notion of you got to diversify, put some into stocks, put some into crypto, put some into gold, put some into real estate, put some in bonds, put some in ETF, and you're spreading everything out, you could still make money. But you're not going to make that life-changing wealth by being too diversified. You have to pick that one and stick with it and make your boatload of money and a life-changing wealth that way, then diversify and protect your money. That's kind of how I see it. Anyways, that's how I feel. Michelin star restaurants are the best in Los Angeles, and I don't know if I would enjoy those Michelin star restaurants. I'd much rather enjoy a solid burger or steak than get like a 3-piece meal with all this fanciness added to it. That's just not for me. So I'd rather pay, $20 for a good burger than $200 for like a small piece of, I don't know, art on my plate. Gary, in terms of crypto, do you think Serum and Radium will be going to all-time high soon? No. No, because they're both on Solana. And Solana, I don't think is going to go to all-time high anytime soon either. So that's the reality. Tommy Burgers in LA is the best in the world. I don't know where that is. So I'll see. All right, guys. I'm going to let you guys go. Overall, Bitcoin is still holding steady. You got bank fears and bailouts still happening. Quantitative easing is starting to happen again. There's money being thrown around. But you know what? That's why so many are turning to Bitcoin and crypto, because they don't trust the banks anymore, right? And can we test all-time highs? Sure. It's a matter of when, not if. And Do Kwon is behind bars. So have a good one, guys. Enjoy your Saturday. I don't know. My schedule next week is all screwed up. I'm going to try to record videos at night and play it in the morning. I think that's what I'm going to do. So still stay tuned. Smash a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys later. All right? Have a good one. Bye-bye.